In this lesson, we're going to introduce the idea of parametric equations, what they are, and how to work with them. So take this first example as a way of introducing what parametric equations are. So this example says, plot the following parametrically defined curve with equations x equals t plus 2 and y equals t squared. So I'll stop reading for now and use this to explain what a parametrically defined curve is. So notice here that normally an equation of a curve is just y in terms of x, but here we've got a third non-coordinate variable, t, which is called a parameter, and that's what a parameter is, a non-coordinate variable. So x is defined in terms of t, and y is defined in terms of t. Again, the word parametrically defined curve comes from the fact that the curve is defined in terms of these parameters, which are functions of t. So what we do in order to plot a curve, we choose values of t and see what x and y coordinates they give. So if we fill out the table now, which gives us values of t to use, we can find x and y coordinates associated with those values of t. So if x equals t plus 2, minus 4 plus 2 is minus 2, and minus 4 squared is 16. And we can carry on doing that. Now the calculator will help us if we use the table mode. So if we go into the table mode in the calculator, so f of x is x plus 2. We use x because we don't actually have t's in the calculator. And in the past, you've probably ignored this option to input a second function. So it's ideal for what we're doing now. So g of x is x squared. Again, we use x because we haven't got a variable t in the calculator. Right, I want to start at minus 4. And it goes all the way up to 4. And we want to go up in the step of 1s. So we see for t equals minus 4, the coordinates are minus 2, 16, which is what we got. Then we've got minus 1, 9. Then we've got 0, 4. Then we've got 1, 1. Then we've got 2, 0. And I'll save you the effort of watching me write them all out. There they all are there. So now let's plot it. So for that we'll do a set of axes, which are there, and let's get plotting. So we've got minus 2, 16, which is there. We've got minus 1, 9, which is there, and continuing to plot those, which is there. So nice and straightforward is that. We've got that curve there, which looks like a quadratic. And finally, it asks us to find the Cartesian equation. Well, as I said before, a Cartesian equation is a curve defined only in terms of its coordinates variables. So looking back up here, we've got x equals t plus 2 and y equals t squared, which is defined in terms of a parameter, t, a non-coordinate variable, t. If we want to find the Cartesian equation, we need to eliminate t. So what we do, if we've got x equals t plus 2 and y equals t squared, if we rearrange one of those equations to say t equals in this case, then we can eliminate the parameter. So in this case, t equals x minus 2. And if we sub that into the other equation now, we see that y equals x minus 2 squared, and that's the Cartesian equation. Now you might think, what's the use of this? As we didn't really need t to define the curve. Well, this has a lot of use in mechanics, where not only are you interested in the position of something, i.e. where it is on the grid, we'd also like to know where it is at what particular time. So in this example here, x and y could be the position of a particle, and t is the time at which it's at that position. So that's just an example of why it's useful, but let's do another example of finding Cartesian equations now. So there it is there, we've got 3 examples. Find the Cartesian equations of the following parametrically defined functions. So part A, relatively straightforward. All we're doing is making one of those equations say t equals, and we can see that it's easier to make the second equation say t equals. So y equals 2 over t implies that t equals 2 over y, and sub it into the other one, which means that x equals 2 over y squared plus 3 lots of 2 over y plus 4 which means that x equals 4 over y squared plus 6 over y plus 4. And normally you'd have y in terms of x, however, there was no mention of a required form, therefore we're done. Part B, and this now involves trig functions, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. So this one involves knowing your trig identities. It's not as easy as just finding t equals. So here, x equals 3 cos t. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make this equation say cos t equals, and I'm going to make the other equation say sin t equals. So cos t equals x over 3. And we've got y equals 2 plus 5 sin t, implies, and making that say sin t equals, we get y minus 2 over 5. And this is going to involve a trig identity, as I said before. I'm going to square both equations now. So cos squared t equals x squared over 9, and sin squared t equals y minus 2 squared over 5 squared, which is 25. Now here's the trick. Use trig identities to eliminate these. If we add these two equations together, we get the left-hand sides, which is cos squared t plus sin squared t, and you can hopefully see where this is going, equal to the right-hand sides added together. So x squared over 9 plus y minus 2 squared over 25. And hopefully you recognise that there. That's equal to 1. Which means that x squared over 9 plus y minus 2 squared over 25 equals 1, like that. And there's the Cartesian equation of the curve. And the final example, x equals cosec t and y equals cot t. So we're going to use another trig identity involving cosec and cot. And that identity is 1 plus cot squared x is identical to cosec squared x. Or in this case, we're using t instead of x. So I'll put it in terms of t this time. Which means that cosec squared t minus cot squared t is identical to 1. So we're looking to try and manufacture a cosec squared t minus cot squared t in our answer. So here I can see, if I square both sides, x squared equals cosec squared t, and y squared is equal to cot squared t, like that. So now we can get the Cartesian equation by eliminating the trig functions in this way, by trying to make a cosec squared t minus cot squared t. So we subtract the two equations, do first take second. I get x squared minus y squared equals cosec squared t minus cot squared t, which means that the final Cartesian equation is x squared minus y squared equals 1, and it's eliminated. So that's finding Cartesian equations of curves. We're now going to have a look at solving parametric equations simultaneously with Cartesian curves. So let's have a look at an example that requires that. And there it is there. Find the coordinates of the point where the curve with parametric equations x equals t plus 2 and y equals 8t minus 3 meets the line y equals 2x minus 3. So what we can do, we can just simply sub this in directly to obtain a solvable expression in terms of t, which will allow us to find the coordinates. So we know that y, which is 8t minus 3, is equal to 2 lots of x, so 2 lots of t plus 2, take 3. Solving that, we get 8t minus 3 equals 2t plus 4 minus 3. Taking everything over to the other side, so we get 6t on the left, and take everything over to the right, equals 4. which means that t equals 4/6, which is 2/3. So now subbing t equals 2/3 into the parametric equations, I get x equals 2/3 plus 2, which is equal to 8/3. Just check that. 2/3 plus 2 is indeed 8/3. And y equals 8 lots of 2/3 minus 3, which is equal to, so 8 lots of 2/3 minus 3, which is equal to 7/3. Therefore, we've got 8/3, 7/3 is the point of intersection. So now have a go at the worksheet. Lots of examples like the ones we've just covered.